Hello and welcome to Death of Raven Gaming. Today, as usual, we're streaming Marvel Champion, and as we usually do, unlike last week, we're gonna play fully randomized, which means random hero, modular encounter set, villain, and aspect. Sorry for the very short start. My microphone was not plugged in properly, but let's just jump straight into it by randomizing uh, the hero we're gonna play. So let's see who we're gonna play today. We're playing Miss Marvel. There we have her. Then the question is, what aspect are we playing her in? Let's see. Aggression. Ooh, she's fun in Aggression. Then we know that. Next up, who are we gonna face? Miss Marvel, Aggression is gonna fight. We played the Sinister 6 last week, so we're not gonna do them again, because I feel like we should try something new. I just don't want to repeat 2 weeks in a row. So let's just randomize again. So who are we gonna face? Rhino. Old-fashioned Rhino. Let's see here. Rhino from the core sets. He has one modular encounter set, so let's randomize that modular encounter set. And of course, all the new ones are on here as well. So let's see. What do we get? Sinister Syndicate. Okay. Sinister Syndicate. Okay, so let's start with building the deck. So, let's start by looking at Miss Marvel as usual. So we have Miss Marvel, who's a champion and an inhuman. 5 hand size, 10 health, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 1 defense, and then response after you play an attack, thwart, or defense event. Exhaust Miss Marvel, return the event to your hand. So she likes to play events. Well, that's why we have Kamala Khan, who has a 6 hand size, 10 health, 5 recovery, inhuman, and then Teen Spirit as an action. Yeah. Discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard a Miss Marvel card. Then add that card to your hand. Limited once per round. So she wants to have event, and she has very good events in her signature pool. So let's check what she has for cards. Her signature ally is the Red Dagger, 3 cost ally, 2 thwart, 2 attack, 3 health. Champion, Interrupt. When a Red Dagger is defeated, spend 2 resources of different types, deal 2 damage to an enemy, and return Red Dagger to your hand. So if you have the resources, you can just keep him in your hand and then play him, you know? Next up we have 3 copies of Big Hands. It's a 2 cost event. Attack superpower, hero action, attack, deal 4 damage to an enemy. We can get those back with Miss Marvel's hero ability. We have 3 cups of sneak by. For 2, we can thwart, remove 3 skets from a hero. Hero action, remove 3 threat from a scheme. It's a skill and a thwart in its events. Then we have 2 copies of Wiggle Room, 0 cost events. Defense superpower, when hero interrupt, when you would take any amount of damage, prevent 3 of that damage, draw a card. Nice to prevent damage and it replaces itself in the hand. Amir Khan, 1 cost support, persona, alter ego action, exhaust him to place 1 card from your discard pile on the bottom of your deck, then draw a card. It's a nice way to get your hand size to 7 on hero mode, but mostly it's just nice to have stuff in your deck so you can draw them before it runs out. But Bruno Carelli, 1 cost support, persona, alter ego action, exhaust Bruno Carelli, attached 1 card from your hand face down here, then an action, exhaust Bruno Carelli, add up to 3 cards attached here to your hand. Then we have Nakia Badir, 1 cost support, persona, alter ego action, exhaust Nakia Badir, reduce the cost of the next card you play this phase by 1. Then we have her suit, 1 cost upgrade, biokinetic polymer suit, armor, hero resource, exhaust biokinetic polymer suit to generate a wild resource for an event. Then we have Embiggen, 2 cost upgrade, condition superpower, hero interrupt when you play an attack event, exhaust Embiggen, increase the amount of damage the event deals by 2. And then we have the same thing, but for thwart, shrink. When you play a thwart event, exhaust shrink, increase the amount of threat that event removes by 2. So that's what Miss Marvel does. She's really, really interesting, so we're gonna have a fun time building around her today. Give me 1 second and I'm just gonna, because I realized I did not put up the chat and everything on my screen. Because I had to fix the mic, so just give me 1 second. Like that. And now we're gonna start building our deck. So let's start with the fact that we're gonna have the regular 3 double resources. And we can use the villain tracker here to remember how many cards we have. So, allies. Let's see here. Before we do this, let's just check really fast with how many. He has a couple. Well, this is. Oh, really? That's fascinating. Right, he has Shocker in his thing, but he's also in the Sinister Syndicate. Usually a deck is not allowed to have 2 copies of the same named character, but I guess it's okay in this form. It's just as long as they don't put into play together. I actually don't know why that's never happened to me before, but I guess that's what we're gonna do. He has a couple of heroes, villain, and minions, sorry. And Sinister Syndicate does as well. 2 side skim, and Sinister Syndicate has 1. So we want to be able to kill minions. And big ones as well. So let's start with putting in Angela, 0 cost ally, 0 thwart, 2 attack, 3 health, Asgard Guardian, and then force response after Angela enters play under your control, shares top 10 card of the encounter deck for a minion, and put it into play engaged with you. Shuffle the encounter deck. If a minion was not put into play this way, discard Angela. It's just a nice way to a free card that's gonna help a lot. And it definitely doesn't hurt that should get a minion out as well if we have stuff we need to do. Let's put in Throg, 2 cost ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack, 2 health, Asgard Guardian. Response after Throg enters play, give him a tough status card if you're engaged with a minion. The reason why I do these is because it's really, really nice to have 2 cost, low cost allies. Especially since we're probably gonna lean into events a lot in this one. Which, to be fair, you usually do. Let's put Bug as well. 2 cost ally Guardian. 1 thwart, 1 attack, 2 health, Guardian. After your hero make a basic attack, heal 1 damage from Bug. Probably not gonna use him that much, but it's a 2 cost. Actually, I'm gonna bring Bug back and bring in Marvel Boy instead. 2 cost ally, 0 thwart, 2 attack, 2 health, Guardian Kree. And then interrupt when Marvel Boy attacks. Spend physical resources attacking and piercing and range. Only because I know if he gets a tough status card, we're gonna want that, and we're not gonna use Bug's recover mechanic probably too much either. So let's start with those allies. Next up we have upgrades. So let's see here what I feel like. We have 1-1-1 stat line, which is very, very low. So let's start by bringing Martial Prowess, which is a 2-cost upgrade that lets us exhaust it to generate a fist resource for an attack event. We've also added 4 more cards. I'm gonna fix the health before we start playing. That is a little bit cut off. Let's see here. What was I thinking? I was thinking a regular weapon. But we're probably not going to do as much basic. Let's lean into the events. So, let's go to supports. Let's do a Hall of Heroes. 2-cost support. After you defeat a minion, place 1 glory counter here. And then exhaust Hall of Heroes in Alter Ego action and remove 3 glory counters from it to draw 3 cards. It's just nice since there's gonna be a lot of minions that sometimes when we flip back we're gonna be able to have a with her support as well. It would probably have like 10 hand size for 1 turn, effectively. So that would be nice. Let's put into Dropkick. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. If you pay for this card using only fist resources, stun the enemy and draw a card. It's just real nice to be able to stun Rhino. We're gonna want to be able to remove threat from a main scheme, so let's put in 3 into the fray. 3-cost events. Attack, deal 6 damage to a minion. For each point of excess damage dealt by this attack, remove a threat from the main scheme. Just gonna be a nice way to... And we're gonna be able to pump that up with Embiggen as well. I'm not super into playing or I'm looking at these and it's not really anything I'm super hyped by. I'm gonna put in 2 Clobbers. 2-cost event, attack, hero action, deal 3 damage to an enemy. If this is the first card you play this round, return this card to your hand. Have even more recycle than she does by herself. Let's see here. Sorry, the 2 Clobber has to be added. Let's put 2 Plan of Attack. 0-cost event. Search top 4 cards of your deck. Top 7 cards instead if you're in Alter Ego form for an attack event, and add that card to your hand. Shuffle your deck. We don't have a good... If they change from... Let's put in 2 toe-to-toe. And get really used for those wiggle room. 1 cost event. Choose an enemy. The enemy attacks you to deal 5 damage to that enemy. It's gonna be a nice way to deal some extra damage to Rhino. And let's take 2. You'll pay for that as well. 1 cost event. After the villain attacks you, remove 1 threat from a scheme for each damage you took from that attack to a maximum of 5. And now let's get into the generic stuff, the basic stuff. Right, so let's throw in Blade here. 1 cost ally, 1/4/2 attack. After he thwarts or attack, choose to either spend a physical resource from your hand or discard the Blade. 3 health. It's a nice 1 cost drop. I had some other thoughts here. I'm gonna throw in a Lockjaw. Am I really gonna throw in Lockjaw? He's not very good. He's nice to have in the discard pile though, so I'm gonna pay with him. So 4 cost ally, 2 thwart, 2 attack. You may play Lockjaw from your discard pile during your turn, paying his resource cost. It's a nice way to teleport in the dog when you need him. And it's fitting because if you don't know, Miss Marvel in the comics worked a lot with Lockjaw. So let's see here in generic support. It's not really anything I'm feeling like. Not really. I guess it would be in the Avengers Mansion to have a card draw, but no. You know what? If we ever have the no, let's skip that. Which means we're going over to upgrades. We're gonna do the Actually, we have 5 in recovery, right? Yeah, that's a high recovery. But let's throw in an endurance and downtime. It's +2 recovery and +3 health, just to have a little bit more of healing. And actually, let's do something fun. Let's throw in a Symbiote suit. It's a new card, so you might not see it, but it's a 4 cost upgrade. Symbiote, max 1 per deck. We draw an extra encounter card each turn, but your identity get +1 to each of its basic power, +1 hand size, and +10 hit points. I just want to say that it's gonna be... you're probably gonna see a lot of that one in the true solos. So let's see, so I counted this correctly. 15 there. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. Okay, that's 41 hand size, that's fine. Let's do that, and then if we fail, which is probably going to happen the first time, we'll just see what we're missing. So let's start by sleeving this up. Not the most fun thing to watch, but I'm still working on my sleeve collection. A lot of things are sleeved now. Miss Marvel was not one of the heroes that were, for some reason. But I'll probably not remove the sleeves from her after this, so she's always going to be sleeved. Probably. I'm not going to make any promises, but probably be sleeved after this. So yeah. I'm gonna say it's been really yes, last week was really fun to start streaming again. I had a blast. I'm gonna try some private games of the Sinister Motives expansion. Probably on Friday with my brother. To try that out. Let's just bring in this. So yeah, it's cool. I think it's funny that we're gonna do Miss Marvel now, since they're doing a series of it. Even though they changed her powers, she doesn't have the same powers as Mr. Fantastic anymore, which is probably because they're going to put Mr. Fantastic in the MCU one point. I mean, we know that they've said that they're doing a Fantastic Four movie, so that's probably why, and maybe because it was expensive with the budget for a TV show. But it's Disney, so they should have had the budget to do whatever the fuck they want. So yeah, but it's still fun that they're doing it. It's nice to have some representation that it's a teenage female Muslim superhero. And I know the comics are really good. I read the original print run, which was only 19 issues. Up until, I don't remember which event it was, but it was up to an event. But it's really good. And she's very relatable. She's what I would say like the Peter Parker. Like modern Peter Parker, because what Peter Parker was to a lot of people with when he went to high school and everything. And the Spider-Man movies was to people. And let's add the standard mode. So yeah, I think it's really fun to see some representation. Nice to have cool to have a Muslim superhero. And yeah. So let's see here. Rhino, I haven't played against him for a while. So this is going to be really fun, actually. Okay, like that. And then let's do a little bit of this. Does he have anything special on his main scheme? No. He's pretty easy to follow. His main scheme is literally just if you reach 7, you lose. Which can be rough. But it is what he has low scheme, he just hits like a truck. Oh, well, I had to search for a side scheme actually. I saw Breaking and Talking was when they revealed the second phase. That's rough. Okay. Then I'm gonna add 3 threats. There. I'm gonna shuffle this as well. I'm gonna add her to the middle. Kamala side, obviously. Okay, I'm gonna bring down the villain health to the 15 he has. I'm gonna raise the hero to the 10 we have. And then I'm just gonna really fast go and fix the villain health. Give me just 1 second. And let me just put the deck there. Like that. Perfect. So, let's start by drawing our opening hand. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Big hands, lockjaw, strength, big hands. Symbiote suit and Nakia. So I'm gonna just start by mulligan Lockjaw because we want him in the discard pile if we ever want to play him. So let's drop to our hand size. It's plan of attack. Okay. See if it looks good here. Yeah, it works. This camera has to become, I had to upgrade that camera. But anyway, so, what do we do? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna discard. I'm gonna say pitch, just because I'm really into Flesh and Blood, and that's what we call it, and I think it still makes sense. I'm gonna pitch a big hands to play a Nakia, who is an alter ego action that I can reduce the next thing cost by 1, where I'm gonna pay plan of attack and the 2 there to play Symbiote suits. And which means we have plus 10 hit points. Now that I think about it, the endurance was overkill. So let's, when we see the endurance in our hand, let's throw it out, because then we're at 40. So let's do that. So we are Symbiote Miss Marvel. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna actually use Kamala's ability as well. Discard a card from the top of your deck until you discard a Miss Marvel card and add it to your hand. And we start with the red dagger in our hand, apparently. Anyway, let's flip to hero form. And let's thwart 2 now. Because we get +1 to all our base. We can actually... Give me a second and I'll fix it so it's easier to see. So let's just do this. So you don't forget that we have +1 to everything. And I removed it from the breaking and taking, of course. And that's all we're gonna do. I'm not a super fan of red daggers. I'm gonna actually discard red dagger. And that's ready. Draw. So here we have 5. We're gonna draw another one because Symbiote suits gives us an extra hand size. And we have plan of attack, drop kick, Amir Khan, big hands into the fray, and genius. Okay, which means it is the villain phase. 1 threat to the main scheme. Rhino is going to attack us for 3, plus whatever he pulls, so I'm just going to take it. Stun the character you control with a high... So, 3 and a stun. Okay. Let me just fix this real fast. We are stunned. That one we'll put on top there. And we take 3 damage. Which means it is time for our encounter cards, which in this case is going to be 3, because 1 normal, 1 because the side scheme, and 1 because the symbiote suit. So let's see the first one. Stampede. Rhino attacks you. If a character is damaged by this attack, the character is stunned. Okay, so he's going to attack us for 3, 4, and deal 2 damage on ally control, but I don't have one, so I'm going to take 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will be stunned, but I'm already stunned. Hard to keep down. Rhino heals 4 damage. If no damage was healed this way, this card gains Surge. So we have Surge on that one. Then we'll bring in a Hydra Mercenary, who actually has guards. I have one of those to remember that he has a guard. He has guard. Next up, it's Crowd Control, which means we're gonna be able to remove threat from the main scheme until that one is removed. Okay. That could have been worse. Could have been better, but it could have been worse. So let's see here. So let's do it like this. Yeah, it's not gonna be super hype, but let's just do a basic thwart to remove the one threat from breaking and taking, so we don't take that much encounter cards. And then we have 6 left. Where we can pay Genius to play Big Hand to remove the stun. And then we can remove these 3 to play into the fray to deal 6 damage to the minion. And then remove a threat from the main scheme for each damage. Well, we can't remove threat actually because of crowd control. But we remove this at least, the minion. So that one is not going to do anything for us. And that's all we do our turn. Which means we ready ourselves, draw up to 6. Bruno, Martial Prowess, Angela Blade, Sneak by Toe to Toe. Okay. Which means it is the villain phase. 1 threat on the main scheme. Rhino is going to attack us. 3 plus whatever this one is. 5 we're gonna take. I'm not super happy about it, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can only defend 2 anyway, and he hits harder than that. Then we get our 2 encounter cards. Speed Demon. Force Interrupt. When a character attacks Speed Demon attacks that character first. Okay. And the next one is Untough. Give Rhino a tough status card. Okay. So you got Speed Demon who attacks before you attack him. And then Rhino has Tough. Which means it's our turn. So. Not super hyped about getting Angela in, but I'm hyped about getting Blade in actually. I'm gonna do it like this, that I am going to discard these 2 to play a Sneak By to remove 3 threat from a scheme. Let's remove it from crowd control. Then we have this left. Let's use Martial Prowess to put in Blade. Miss Marvel is going to remove 2 threat from the main scheme, so we're down to 0. And then I'm actually gonna flip down and use cards here to discard cards from the top until we get Big Hands, which we're gonna discard to play. Actually, we don't even have to discard. We can just exhaust her to use Bruno, and then we can exhaust Bruno to put Big Hands under him. Perfect. Which means we ready ourselves, draw up to 7, because it's not just in hero form. No, your identity. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Toe to toe, wiggle room, into the fray, wiggle room, Marvel Boy, endurance. And it's the villain phase. So 1 threat on the main scheme. Rhino's gonna scheme for 4, apparently. Speed Demon adds 1. Then we get 2 encounter cards, and if one of them is advance, we're screwed. This card gains Surge. Rhino heals 4 damage. If no damage was healed, he gains Surge. Karn gains Surge. Rhino at this card gains Surge. Holy Moses. Place 4 threat on each side scheme. If there are no side scheme, play discard card from the top of the encounter deck until a side scheme is discarded and put it in play. Well, great, but that means we're gonna stop doing that at least. But the threat are gonna increase more. And did I really only see one advance in there? Well, we lost. Great. Great, so let's restart this. Oh, sorry, that was one of my light boxes. Side scheme, breaking and taking is there. Damn it! Give me a second, I'm just gonna fix this. If the light box just wants to please stand up. Thank you. It's a very homemade one, so it's not the best. It's not attached to anything, it's just standing up by itself. Can also be good to shuffle in my hand size. Let's remove endurance. I'm just gonna double count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, that is 40 cards. Okay, let's draw our 6 hand size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see what we got. Wiggle Room. Symbiote's Dropkick, Plan of Attack, Bruno, and Hall of Heroes. Huh. Probably gonna wait with the suits. Let's use Kama's ability. Discard a card from the top of your deck. So you discard one of her cards. Let's discard Nakia to play Bruno, who we're gonna exhaust, and attached Symbiote suit to, so we can play it later. Then we're gonna throw away Dropkick and Plan of Attack to play a Hall of Heroes. And then we have Wiggle Room left. Flip to Miss Marvel. Thwart 1, which is the one there. It's just so we don't get triple immediately. Now we can get played next turn, hopefully, and only use double. So, that was the turn. Let's ready ourselves. 1, 2, and begin. 3 into the fray. You'll pay for that and a red dagger. Okay. Which means it's the villain phase. 1 threat upon the scheme. Main scheme. He's gonna attack for 3. No. Wait, is when you were taking him on damage. So you get to see first. So 3 for 5 damage. Let's wiggle room out of that and draw a card into the fray. Okay. Which means you get 2 encounter cards. Sandman with toughness, so he comes in with a tough status card. And then the next one is Stampede. Rhino attacks you. If a character is damaged by this attack, the character is stunned. Yeah, I can't really do anything about that. So I might just have to be stunned, sadly. Because I only have 1 defense by myself. So I really have no choice here. Well, it's only 3 damage. And a stun, which I have here. Stunned. So yeah, which means it is our turn now. I really do want to play Embiggen, but I also really want to play Symbiote Suits. Let's just play this smart. Let's discard these 2 to play Embiggen. Let's exhaust ourselves to remove the stunned. And let's just save these. So let's ready ourselves. 3, 4, 5. And there's a wiggle room there at least. So I'm still gonna deal 3, but anyway. Villain face. 2 threats on the main scheme. Rhino attacks me for 5. I use wiggle room. Sorry. I use wiggle room to get to draw a card, which I add Throg. Sandman attacks me, deals 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. I get 2 encounter cards. Hard to keep it down. Rhino heals 4 damage. Otherwise, it's a surge. Deal. That's 4 more threat on the main scheme. No, on the side scheme. Great. That's what I like to hear. Which means it goes up to 6. And then the other one here is the villain, and each minion engaged with you attacks you. I literally can't defend that. So, let's do this again. Let's do this again. I'm wondering what should be my strategy here, because it's really what do I say, like the problem is that he's very aggressive, and I know that, and I haven't played against him in a long time. But it's very much he can kill you in 1 turn if he's not that lucky. It's a very small encounter deck for characters, you know. But yeah, let's just do this again. See if I can get Symbiotic Suit on my hand 3rd time in a row and start. But I'd rather have Wiggle Room and not Wiggle Room, but I would rather have Embiggen, and that other card that is not Sneak, but I think is Shrink. Anyway, let's draw 6 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Flip to Miss Kamalakan. So let's see here. You pay for that. Throg, Sneak Bite, Drop Kick, Plan of Attack, Drop Kick. Well, this is something, actually. So I'm gonna use Kamala Khan's ability, discard cards from the top of a deck until we discard a Kamala card. And it's Shrink, who I'm going to... Then we can put it in our hand. 3, 4, 5. Let's just flip to Kamala Khan's ability there. Let's discard. You'll pay for that and drop kick to play a Shrink, which means when we play a thwart event, you can remove 2 extra threats, which is probably not going to do, but I'm going to discard drop kick and plan of attack to play Sneak By, not exhausting Shrink, but to remove 3 threats from that scheme immediately. Could exhaust myself to get that one back, but I'm not going to, and then I'm just gonna exhaust and deal 1 damage to him, so it's not a surge if he draws the heal card. And that's what I do. So that's ready, drop to 5, plan of attack, knock you into the fray, and Genius. Let's see what the villain does. He gets 1 threat on his main scheme, then he's gonna attack me for 3, and stun, of course. Stun on 3. Then we get 1 encounter card finally. And it's Crime Pays. Search encounter deck for a criminal minion and put it into play engaged with you. You're not a criminal. What else do we have? Okay. Criminal. Criminal. 2 more damage to each hero. Are you also criminal? Yes, he is actually a criminal. That's actually a fun set to have in this one. Let's just add Shocker out, which was just deal 1 extra damage to it when he's revealed. So we're just gonna take 1 more damage. Is all he does. The other Shocker in the set is scarier than the Rhino's Shocker. I mean, in a 4-turn play, it's 4 damage because it's each hero. If you're playing more, it's annoying. But yeah. And 3 threat on it. Great. Like that it looks, which means we go over to our turn. Now we are stunned. I'm gonna play Plan of Attack. Search the top 4 cards after an attack event. And add it to my hand. That is an attack. I'll take big hands. And I'll shuffle my deck. Which means now we're gonna pay Genius to play Throg, which means he, since there's a minion engaged with me, I'm gonna give him Tough, which means there's 2 hits from Rhino on him. Then I'm gonna exhaust Miss Marvel to remove the stunned, use Nakian into the fray to play Big Hands, deal 4 damage to an enemy, and kill the Shocker. And that was that, which means that was my turn. Let's do that. Drop to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have Wiggle Room, Clobber, Sneak By, you'll pay for that, and Bruno Carelli. yeah, which means it's the villain phase. And it's 2 threats on the main scheme. He attacks. I'm gonna take it myself. He attacks for 4. I'm gonna use Wiggle Room to not take any damage and draw a card. I drew into the fray. Then I get my encounter card, which is Charge, attached to Rhino. When Rhino attacks, attack gains Overkill. At the end of the attack, discard Charge. Perfect that we have Throg out, because that will be scary. So, it's our turn. We really have to... Yeah, I'm just gonna do this, actually. It's not gonna be super exciting. Actually, it's gonna be good, though. You'll pay for that in Clobber to play Sneak By and remove 3 threat from Crime Pace. Exhaust Miss Marvel to return an attack, thwart, or defense event to my hand. Use Into the Fray and Bruno to play Sneak By again and remove the last 3 threats. And that was my turn, actually. So ready. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clobber, Red Ragger, and Big Gun, Amir, and Downtime. And, yes. It's the villain phase. 1 threat in the main scheme. Rhino attacks me. I'm gonna defend with Throg, who has a top status card. He attacks for 6, 7 damage on Throg. It was Overkill, but not Pierce, so he's safe. Charge gets discarded, and I get my 1 encounter card. Which is hard to keep down. Rhino heals 4. Now, it was really good that we got that one, because otherwise he would have gotten Surge there. That could have led to something nastier. So we have 1 damage on him, which means it is our turn. I know a play here that seems really good. Except I really want to use... Yes, I'm just going to use Red Dagger and a Clobber to play Embiggen for the future. Then I'm going to throw away Downtime to play Amir if I ever go back to Alter Ego mode. Miss Marvel, I'm gonna use that to remove the 1 threat from there. Well, I'm gonna add 1 damage to our lovely, lovely Throg to deal 2 damage to the villain. And that was that, which means I'm gonna ready. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lockjaw, Wiggle Room, Sneak By, Symbiote Suit, and Big Hands. Okay. Which means it is the villain phase. 1 threat in the main scheme. Rhino's gonna attack. I'm gonna defend with Throg. Discard the lower cost support you control, so I'm gonna have to remove Amir from it. But Throg is also dead. I get my encounter card. Amir got discarded. And it's another charge. That's a problem. That's scary. That's really scary. Oh, I forgot I had a Wiggle Room. So let's not kill Throg. Let's use Wiggle Room instead to not take any damage. And draw a card. In that case, that's what definitely was I supposed to do, because I forgot I had it. How am I going to survive a charge? A Symbiote Suit is a way to survive this charge. I think that's going to be the play. Discard all 4 of these to play Symbiote Suit. Which means we get up to 16 health. And we can attack for 2 damage on the villain. And that was our turn. Which means it's draw to 6 now. And we ready ourselves. We get our suit, martial prowess, half heroes, toe-to-toe, Marvel Boy, and strength. It is the villain's face. Let's upgrade that one. He attacks for 6. Now Throg runs in. 7. Throg is dead. Sadly. But we get our 2 encounter cards. First one is Exhaust My Identity and gain another one of those. Second one is Assault, the villain attacks me. Charge is gonna be gone by then, so it's only 3. And of course it is choose to discard an upgrade I control. I'm gonna remove Shrink because it's not that much thwarting that we need that is bigger than that. Which means I take 3 damage. And the last one I have is Heartkeep down. Rhino heals 4. Okay, perfect. We've done no damage to him. And barely any board states. Perfect. Also, we were exhausted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in Martial Prowess to play Biokinetic Polymer Suits. For an event, yeah. Pay 2 to play Marvel Boy. Marvel Boy is gonna attack Rhino. And that's all we do. Ready, everyone? Drop to 3, 4, 5. Get an extra encounter card this turn. Six. Angela Big Hand's Energy, Hall of Heroes, Toto, and Plan of Attack. Which means we go to the villain phase. Where he gets 1 threat there. He's gonna attack us. Marvel Boy is gonna take it. But it's only a 3, so Marvel Boy is sadly dead. Which means we get 2 more encounter cards. After Boomerang attacks you, deal 1 damage to each ally you control. Okay. Attached to Rhino, he gets +1 attack. And then I can spend 3 physical to remove it. And last but not least, when any amount of damage will be dealt to Rhino, place it here instead. Then if there's at least 5 damage here, discard Armored Rhino Shoot. So it's basically 5 extra health here, Scott. Okay. But now it's our turn. So... What I am gonna do, start by doing, so I'm gonna start by using energy to play Big Hands. Deal 4 damage to something. I'm gonna use a big one to make that 7 and kill Boomerang. Which means then I am going to exhaust Miss Marvel to get Big Hands back. I'm gonna discard Hall of I'm gonna use Plan of Attack to search the top 4 cards. After an attack, which there wasn't any. I'm gonna use Biokinetic Polymer Suits. Actually, I'm gonna play Angela and search top 10 cards for a minion. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sandman, White Rabbit. I'm just gonna bring in White Rabbit. who I'm gonna use Hall of Hero. No. Only toe-to-toe and biopermanent suit to deal 4 damage to White Rabbit and killing her immediately. And then I'm gonna attack Rhino with Angela, which means 2 damage on the suit. And that's all I do. Ready, 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 ready. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also, we should have dealt 1 damage to Angela from attacking. We go up here, plus 1 there. Rhino attacks for 4. I'm gonna actually let Angela take this one. Yeah, 4 damage. Angela's dead. This. Oh. Let's say I discarded that one to be fair. Which means I get 2 encounter cards. Shadows of the Past. Great. So, reveal your set-aside Nemesis minion, which is Thomas Edison. And then reveal the set-aside Nemesis side scheme and put it into play. Generation Y. Which means you get another encounter card. When revealed, discard the top card of each player's deck for each ally and persona support in play. I have none. And shuffle the rest of the set-aside Nemesis encounter set into the encounter deck. If your Nemesis minion does not enter the game this way, please discard your search. So. Wait. That one was here. So. That's what happens. It's really nasty. Thomas Edison is a bird and a genius. And cannot take damage while you engage another minion. And then Generation Y is just an extra card, which is this one here. Home by Dawn. Discard 1 persona control if you're not supposed to. I can either get a Surge or flip. And I'll just give it Surge, I think. That was bad. That was really bad. 4, 5, 6, 7 from Rhino. That was really bad. And 1 from Thomas Edison. And if you don't know, Thomas Edison is actually a genetic clone of the President Thomas Edison, made by an evil genius and fucked up by having some of his parrot's DNA in him. Hence why he's a bird. Anyway, let's see what we can do here. We can do a lot, actually. This is actually great. So, let's use Kinetic Polymer Suit and Genius to use Into the Fray and Thomas Edison. And use Embiggen to do that 8. Which means we kill him for 3 and then we have 5 left, which will remove all 4 of those. Then... we'll use Shrink, Lockjaw, and Martial Prowess to play the Red Dagger, who comes in and is going to be exhausted to thwart away Generation Y. Then I think I'm going to flip with Kamala, exhaust to recover 5. And that's what we do. I feel that's the best play here. We ready ourselves. We draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7 because of Symbiote suit. Huh. Wiggle Room, Clobber, Wiggle Room, Into the Fray, Sneak Bite, Throg, and Dropkick. And that means it is the villain phase. 1 threat on the main scheme. He is going to scheme for 1, which means he only does that. Then we get our 2 encounter cards. The first one is Harvest. Exhaust each persona support in play For each support exhausted this way, the villain heals 1 damage. If no persona support was exhausted this way, discard again Surge. So, yeah. Stampede, discard gains Surge. I feel like there's so much Surge when you're in Alter Ego in this deck. Harvest again. Here we have Crowd Control. Okay, it's the one we can't remove threats from the main scheme. And then I'm tough, so give Rhino a tough status card. Which I'm gonna do as soon as I find the tough. There we go. Red Dagger is also supposed to take 1 damage from last turn. Which means it is our turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm gonna use Kamala's ability to discard cards until I get one of hers, which is Sneak By. This is a large hand. So let's just exhaust actually to recover 5 more. And then flip back. Can use Into the Fray and the Suit to play a Clobber to deal 3 damage to an enemy. Which is going to remove his Tough first of all. And then I get it back in my hand because it's the first card I played this turn. Actually, I'm supposed to recover 2 more. Because Symbiote Suit gives +1 in recovery as well. Which means now I can remove Throg and Dropkick to do another Clobber. To remove I'm actually going to use Ambiguous there to give +2. Which means this one and then 2 go through. Which means he takes 2. And I have 4 cards here. I don't want to throw away a wiggle room, that's the point. I could... Yeah, I exhausted her to heal, right? I don't want to throw away a wiggle room. I'm just going to have to attack with the red dagger. Oh, thwart with the red dagger to remove crowd control, actually. And that's my turn, actually. It's not going to be super high and mighty, but I'm going to draw 2 cards more. Downtime plan attack. Which means it's the villain face. 1 threat on the main scheme. He attacks me for 4. I'm obviously gonna take it. 5. I'm gonna play a Wiggle Room to take no damage. No, 3 damage actually. I played Wiggle Room very wrong. Then I can actually use both to not take any damage. Perfect. And draw 2 cards. Huh. I just thought it was avoid the damage hit. But I think the big hits was with Throg, so that's fine. Which means it is 2 of that. First one is play. There's no. Is there any left here? Nope. Which means we go through the deck for the first time. It's still in reveal phase, so which means I'm gonna shuffle this real fast. I'm really sorry if you're in the comments saying that Wiggle Room only prevents 3 of that damage. I have to read the cards and I just assume that they do stuff other cards does. That would be very strong for a 0, I guess, but she's also not very defensive otherwise. But yeah, that makes more sense. I probably would have taken a little more damage. I don't know if I would this game, because I think it was the first time I really pulled Wiggle Room this game. I'm not sure. Anyway, that's done there. Unless the last one card here is Edison's Giant Robot, who cannot take damage. Then I have to spend a mental resource, and then until the end of the phase, treat this card's printed text pocket as if it were blank. So then they can take damage. That's nasty. Anyway, here's my hand. So let's restart by removing downtime and the suit here. Actually, that is really, really nasty with the... So actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove plan of attack to treat Edison's giant robot as its textbook was blank. No. Let me just think a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna remove Clobber. I'm gonna remove plan of attack and use the suit. To play Sneak Bite to remove the 3 threat that is on the break-in. Then I'm going to... Yeah, because I haven't played a card. Yes, I have. Wait, before I do that, I'm just gonna use this to use Clobber to deal 3 damage to the villain. Then I do plan of attack and that to play Sneak By. Then I have this left. I'm actually gonna use Embiggen to deal 2 more damage to the villain. And I'll play downtime. Not that really is gonna matter. And Miss Marvel is gonna punch Rhino in the face for 2. Which means I'm gonna ready myself. Draw up to 6. You'll pay for that, Sneak By, Bruno, Dropkick, Toto, and Nakia. Okay, so villain face, 1 threat in the main scheme. He's gonna attack me. I'm gonna let Red Dagger take that. And he attacks me for only 4. Do I want Red Dagger back in my hand? I'll just not do that. Red Dagger goes back to the... Just give me 1 second, and I'll just pour up something to drink for me. And then we're gonna continue with actually 2 damage from Edison's giant robot, who's annoying. Okay. Which means we get our 2 encounter cards. 1, 2. For each persona, I still don't have a persona, so it has Surge. Thomas Edison. The last one is Advanced. The villain schemes. He escapes for 1, 2. Okay. That's how it looks now. That's the problem with Thomas Edison with can't take damage while you are engaged in an minion. Because the giant robot can't take damage unless you spend stuff to do it. I have a weird idea. Actually. I'm gonna use Biokinetic Polymer Suit to play toe-to-toe. No, actually, before I'm gonna use Sneak By to pay that, so pay Thomas Giant Robot, so I can damage him. Then I play toe-to-toe to choose an enemy. I choose a Giant Robot that attacks me. I take 2 damage, and then I deal 5 damage to that enemy. And let's make that 7 damage with a big gun. Which means 7. There. Actually, I shouldn't have. Yeah, I only could have done that. Which means I can exhaust. I really want to kill that, but I really wanted to kill the next one. Yes, I'll just use exhaust Miss Marvel, kill the giant robot, wait with Thomas Edison, pay drop kick to play Bruno, play You'll Pay for That to play Nakia. Which means I now have some personas if something happens. Which means now it's the villain phase. We go up to 5 threats. Actually, I have a 5 marker. He attacks for 4. Oh, actually, I have to draw my hand first. I'm just... Whew. It's getting warm here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's an extra encounter card, actually. You'll pay for that blade. Big hands, Amir. Into the hands, big hands. Okay. Okay. Now he's gonna attack me. For 4 damage. And then Thomas Edison is also dealing 1 damage. Which means now I get my 2 encounter card, which is 3 because I went through my deck. So I'm tough. He gets a tough status card. Next up we have Advance, the Villain Schemes 1. Let's see here. 1 threat. That's exactly what we needed. That's and then Stampede, which means Rhino is gonna attack, and if we're damaged, we get stunned. We're gonna get damaged. We're just gonna have to take that hit. 4, 5, 6. It's a little bit cutting it close. I don't know how we're gonna... Actually, when I did that, the last one there, I'm gonna exhaust Biokinetic Polymer Suit to play You'll Pay for That to remove 5 threat from the main scheme. Which means we're back in the game. Okay. Let's see here. Let's start by using Blade and Amir. To play Big Hands and kill Thomas Edison. Then I'm going to check the encounter discard pile to see how many advance. We've gone through both advance. I'm pretty safe going back into alter ego mode for at least 1 turn. Actually, then I shouldn't have. I paid with Into the Fray instead of Amir, which means I'm gonna use Big Hands, pay for Amir. Should be fine. I'm gonna exhaust too. As long as it's not a 3 on... Wait. So 1 threat on it, 2 more, so that's 3. 4. As long as he doesn't pull a 3 up, we should be safe. That's a lot to ride on. Because how many 3-ups has he done here? He's not done any 3-ups. That does not promise well. But who knows? Let's go for it, I think. Because we only have 2 health anyway, so we're going to have to go back. Let's flip an exhaust. Yeah, because we need as much health as possible. So that means we have a recover of 8 right now thanks to downtime and symbiote suit. And I'm gonna use Amir to take a card from my discard pile. Let's take Big Hands and put it on the bottom of the deck, and let us draw a card, which is a plan of attack. I don't I'm gonna actually play that. Search top 7 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for an attack event. Like none of these 7 are. Great. Let's use Kamala's ability. It's a big hand there that I'm gonna exhaust Bruno to put under. And then we go up, up, up. I've gone back a little bit. Everything goes up. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Villain face. Pray that this doesn't screw us over. He's gonna scheme. Oh. Which means +3. Which means we're 1 away. 2 counter cards. That's bad. Crowd control, which means we can't remove that one, is bad. And the generation Y, which leads to another one. And then discard top card of each player's deck for each ally and persona in support. We actually have 3 in. So we're going to have to discard top 3 cards. Clobber, Lockjaw, and Plan of Attack. Actually happy that Lockjaw went out like that, so thank you. And the last one you give me is another armor for him. Okay. Which means it is our turn. We're going to have to make as much of this as possible. So let's use Amir. Put a card on the bottom. Let's do big hands again. We do like our big hands. Put it on the bottom, draw a card, which is a big hands. Then we use her action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What am I doing? We remove until we remove a Kamala card. Sneak by that we put there. Okay. We have 2. We're gonna need 2 sneak buys. So let's pay for the 2 sneak buys just in theory now. There we have 1 sneak buy paid. There we have 1 sneak buy paid. We could even pay those to put a shrink, to play a shrink, and then we have a wiggle remover. Actually, we don't have even 1 more over, actually. And we're gonna have 2 over, actually. Okay, let's do this. Let's use Nakia and discard into the fray to pay for a shrink. Right, we have a big hands at Bruno as well. I'm actually gonna exhaust Bruno. Wait, so if that one pays for that one. Those two pay for that one. Deal damage as well, which would remove the armored suit. Have to start doing that, but I really want Throg when we get a minion. But no, I'm actually gonna do this, so let's flip to hero form without healing more, because we're gonna have to use that basic heal, basic thwart removal to remove Generation Y. Then we are going to use a strength to play a sneak by to remove threat from crowd control. Which means we go here, which means we're going to pay. You pay for that, and actually you pay for that, and by connected suit, pay a sneak by and exhaust shrink to remove 5 threat from a scheme. I didn't count on that thing, so actually I'm gonna. I counted wrong here. That's fine. So that's actually. Yeah, I didn't count on him having a tough status card. Let's just keep this hand, I think. Then I should have done that before. So before no, let's not do that. That's rude to do that late. Anyway, let's flip everything up. And villain face, 2 threats. He attacks me for 4, 5. He's gonna get 2 through, but I'm gonna play a wiggle room. So 2 through, but I get to draw a card, which is going to be toe to toe. Actually, I should draw up to my hand size first. 3, 4, 5, because a wiggle room was also there. Oh, actually, I can play 2 wiggle rooms, because I get to draw 2 more cards. Angela and Martial Prowess. Which means it is Encounter card turn. I could exhaust. Yeah, I'm gonna exhaust her to put a wiggle room in my hand. Which means Rhino attacks you. If I'm damaged by this, I'm gonna be stunned, whatever happens. But I could lower the amount of damage on me. So he's gonna attack me for 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna use wiggle room to only take 3 of that. And then my last card there. Exactly the same thing. Great. Let's see how much damage I take. I take 4, 5, 6, and there I'm dead. I don't know how I think. The thing is, I don't know if Symbiote suit is worth it, because it gives me an extra, but it really gives me a lot of extra health, which is not that important. I mean, it's important for a while, but I think the extra hand size really does something. I mean, you basically place almost on double speed. So, but I think it's fun. Let's try this one last time. Let me just remove the tough status card. Sorry, got some saliva down the wrong pipe. First of all, breaking and taking we're gonna have outs. What I'm looking for is Miss Marvel's Nemesis set. That's not gonna be able to be outs. Okay. There we're set up again. Let me just fix my health back to 10 and the villain's health back to 15. So let's see what's happening here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Strength, wiggle room, red dagger, toe to toe, shrink, and plan of attack. That's actually a really good hand. Let's start by using her ability to discard cards until we discard a Camelot card. Nakia. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Let's just do this immediately. That we're gonna use toe to toe to pay for Nakia. Exhaust Nakia, use strength to play red dagger. Flip to hero form. And use both of us, where one of us takes damage, to remove all threat from that one. I think that's a good opening turn. Have wiggle room, shrink, and plan of attack. I mean, I could just juice plan of attack to search for an attack card. Damn it, we would have gotten the suit already. The disappointment that can happen. Anyway. I don't want to use anything about this, but if you have then a plan of attack. Which means you're gonna ready everything. Draw up to our printed hand size this time. 2 more wiggle rooms, which means this villain face. 1 threat on the main scheme, that one's gonna be gone. He attacks for 3 damage. I'm gonna use one of my wiggle rooms to prevent that 3 damage and take a card, draw a card. And then it is the encounter card, which we're gonna have the Shocker. And after he is attacked, stun the attacking enemy character. So that's rough. But anyway. So if I one-shot him, it's not gonna happen because then there's not a card to respond to. So if I really want to remove him, the option is to use red dagger, take an extra damage, including getting stunned, to deal 2 damage to him. And then with Miss Marvel, use Marvel Boy, and you'll pay for that. To play big hands to deal 4 damage to him, which will kill the Shocker. And Miss Marvel is still up here. Who I'm going to exhaust to deal 1 damage. It's not a surge if we pull the heal. So yeah, ready. 3, 4, 5. Lockjaw, dropkick, Amir Khan. Okay. Villain face. 1 threat on the main scheme. I have to just flip. Rhino attacks me. I'm gonna just take it. It's 5. I'm gonna use one of my wiggle rooms. Get a Hall of Heroes, which means I take 2 damage. And then it gets my encounter card, which is gonna be Rhino attacks you. If a character is damaged by this attack, that character is stunned. I'm gonna defend with Red Dagger, which means he gets 3, 4, 5 damage. He is dead. But I still stay standing, which means it's over to our turn. This is not really anything I want. I mean, I want to get them out, but Hall of Heroes and Drop Kick to play Shrink, Lockjaw to play Amir. I'm gonna exhaust Miss Marvel, remove 1 threat from the main scheme, and then I'm gonna flip back to Kamala Khan. Use Amir, put a card on my discard pile at the bottom of my deck. It's gonna be a wiggle room. And then I get to draw a card. It's a Genius, which is really genius. And that's all I do. So I'm gonna ready everything. Drop to 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Which means it is the villain face. 1 threat. He is gonna scheme for 1, 2. I get my encounter card, which is Boomerang. Okay, which means it's my turn. I'm gonna use Amir. Put another wiggle room in the deck. Draw a card. You'll pay for that. Discard card from the top of my deck until I discard a sneak by. Then I'm gonna pay for that. Use Nakia. Actually, not do that. Actually, just use Nakia to play my suit. Then I'm gonna flip to hero side. I am going to use Genius to play Ambiggen, which I'm gonna have right next to my Shrink. I'm gonna use Energy to play and use actually Biokinetic Polymer Suit to play an Into the Fray. Deal 6 damage to a minion for each point of excess damage. Remove a threat from a scheme. Boomerang with 1, so that means 1, which means that one goes there. I can use you pay for that and Into the Fray. Actually, I could increase that even more. Yeah, I could even do 2 more, actually, and remove 2 more threats with Ambiggen. Which means I have this... It doesn't do any difference, so let's not do that, because I'm going to play Sneak by anyway. To remove the rest of the threat. And then I'm going to punch him in the face for 1. Small hits, but they're going to add up. Ready everything. I'm pretty happy with my board right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blade, Clubber, Big Hands, Throg, Sneak by. Yes, great. It is the villain phase. 1 threat on the main scheme. He is gonna attack me. I'm gonna take it. It was... Choose and discard 1 identity-specific card from my hand. I'm gonna remove a Sneak by. So that's only 4 damage on me. And then I get my encounter card, which is of course Stampede, which means he attacks me, and then if he deals damage to me, I'm gonna be stunned. I'm sadly going to try and defend that. That's gonna probably kill me. Yes, it's probably gonna kill me. But who knows? Oh, that kills me. Okay, let's redo this. I guess now is the one last time, because we haven't gone past our deadline time yet. If you give me just one pause, and I'm gonna set this up, take a drink, go to the bathroom, and then I'll be right back. Okay? See you soon. So, now we're back, and of course, what I just told myself in my head is that I have to fix the health first, and then I didn't do it. But yes, now we're back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Strength, drop kick, wiggle room, symbiote suit, sneak by. I really don't want to do that. I'm gonna use Kamala's ability to discard card from the top. Lockjaw is a great card to discard. It's not really any. I mean, big hands into my hand. I mean, I could do it. I'm just gonna. Wiggle room is gonna be annoying, but yeah. So let's just do this. Flip to hero side. I'm gonna use 2 to pay for sneak by to remove the 3 threat there. And then I'm gonna use all 4 of these to play symbiote suits. Which means we have 20 health all of a sudden. And then I'm gonna exhaust to deal 2 damage to the villain. That's all I do. Which means we're gonna drop to 6 now. 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have Dropkick, Big Hands, Red Dagger, Downtime, Genius, and Amir. So it's the villain phase, 1 threat there. He's gonna attack me for 3, for 5. I'm gonna take those 5. And then I get my 2 encounter cards, which means White Rabbit. Okay. And I'm tough, so a tough status card on Mr. Rhino. That's how it looks. Which means... I'm gonna exhaust myself. Oh, actually, he is the one that's tough. Right, I'm not the one that's stun. I'm gonna throw away Genius and Downtime to play Red Dagger. Dropkick and Amir to play Big Hands to deal 4 damage to the White Rabbit, which kills her. Then I'm gonna remove the tough status card from Rhino, and then Red Dagger also takes the damage, deal 2 damage to Rhino. Yes, so that's ready. Drop to her hand size. Big and Shrink. Both in the same hand, huh? Okay, which means the villain face. 1 threat in the main scheme. He's gonna attack us. I'm gonna take it in the face. It's 4 damage. And then I'm gonna get my 2 encounter cards, which means Rhino heals 4 damage. Okay. No damage on Rhino. And then Boomerang. Okay. Oops. Damn it. That was the light box. Okay. You should pay for that in Toto. To play a big gun, and then pay those 2 to play a Shrink. I'm gonna use you to remove 2 threat from the main scheme. Use Red Dagger to deal 2 damage to Boomerang. No, actually 2 damage to the villain, because I want to have some damage down on him. There's a lot of things I can kill Boomerang with in my deck, which means I'm gonna ready everything. Drop to my hand size. Sneak by, Frog, Blade, Marvel Boy, Bruno, Clobber. Perfect. Villain phase. 1 threat in main scheme. Rhino attacks. Red Dagger is gonna defend. Red Dagger takes it to the face, which means Boomerang deals 1 damage to me, and then 1 damage to all my allies. I have 0 allies left. Let's take the 2 threat, or 3 encounter cards. Rhino gets a tough, and then he attacks me, and if I'm damaged, I am stunned. I'm just gonna take it to the face. He attacks me for 3 damage. 1, 2, 3, and I'm stunned, sadly, which means it's our turn. I'm gonna exhaust to remove the attack. I'm gonna throw away Throg and Blade To play Clobber, using Biggin to deal 5 damage to Boomerang. I get it back in my hand. Use Marvel Boy and Clobber. No, I probably use Sneak by and Clobber actually. To play Marvel Boy. Huh. Yeah. I'm gonna flip to Alter Ego. Discard cards until I see his Marvel card, which is Big Hands, which I'm gonna use to play Bruno. That was my turn. I'm gonna re-flip everything. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have Into the Fray, Wiggle Room, Clobber, Nakia, Toto, Into the Fray, and Biopomedic Suit. Which means the villain phase, 1 threat. He's gonna... He puts up to 5. We get a master plan into play, so we're gonna have to discard until we see an encounter, side scheme. Which sadly we don't really have that many of. But we have Crime Pace, which immediately leads into search and encounter deck for a criminal. And put it into play. We only have 1 criminal left, so we're gonna have to take him, Speed Demon. I'm just shuffling. So that was that. And then the last card we have is Hydra Mercenary. Okay. Which means we're back on our turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There is 1 left. Yeah, I'm gonna use Kamala's ability. Energy, of course, and that Sneak by, which will lead into an encounter card, and we get this. Which means we have a big hand to work from. Before I flip, do I want to put anything on Bruno? For the future? I don't think so. I could do this though. I could pay toe-to-toe to play Nakia, to exhaust Nakia, to play a Bionetic Polymer Suit. I should probably do that. Wait, let me see here. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna flip. Which means I'm gonna use Into the Fray, Into the Fray. Actually, Into the Fray and Into the Fray and Sneak by. Sneak by. Use that one to use an Into the Fray with Embiggen for 8, which is gonna be on Hydra Mercenary, which means it's 5 through, which means 5 away, and Hydra Mercenary is dead. Which means it's back to our turn. Marvel Boy is going to attack Rhino. I'm gonna discard a physical to make it piercing and ranged, which means he's gonna deal 2 damage and remove the tough status card on him. Which means I have Wiggle Room left in my hand, which I feel is great. Gonna ready everything. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the 6th is there. 2 Wiggle Rooms, so I'm just gonna take... yes, I'm just gonna take the attack from Rhino in the face. He's gonna attack me for actually 2 threat firsts on the main scheme. He's gonna attack me for 3. Only. So I'm gonna use one of the wiggle rooms to prevent that. Strength. And then Speed Demon attacks me for 2. I'm gonna use a wiggle room to draw another one. Which means... I'm also gonna exhaust Miss Marvel to get another wiggle room. Which means I'm gonna get 3 here. A charge. Shadows of the Past. Which means we add another encounter card also. Because Generation Y comes in with 2 threats on it. Thomas Edison comes in. We shuffle the rest into our very tiny deck. Okay. Next up we have Sinister Onslaught. Each criminal enemy in play attacks you. You know it. That's both Rhino and Speed Demon. So, what I'm going to do is Rhino start by attacking, and I'm going to throw Marvel Boy at it, because he's going to attack for 6, 7, 8, 9. And then Speed Demon's attack, I'm going to throw a wiggle room and draw a card. Whew, that was rough. The last one is Armored Rhino Suit. Let's just put that one. Do you see it there? Yes. We can actually lift these up a little bit more, even though it's more difficult for me to reach them. But it's easier for you guys to see, I think. So yeah, which means it is our turn with our huge hand, because Wiggle Room has replaced itself 3 times. And one of the times I exhausted to get it back. So yes, that's why I have 7 cards. Okay. So let's start by doing this. Also, Charge should be gone by now, because he attacked me. I'm gonna use Super Suit, Toe to Toe. Use Big Hands, take the 2 damage from Speed Demon, and kill him, because he attacks before. Then I'm going to remove Strength and Big Hands to play Drop Kick on Rhino, which means deals 4 damage to him. I stun him, because I pay with only physical things, and I get to draw a card. Which means I then can use Downtime and Amir Khan to sneak by 3 threat on Crime Pace, which is all we had, which means that one is gone. And then I'm... Actually, no, I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use the Generation Y to remove that one instead. And I think that's all I do, which means up here, draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. Which means the villain phase, 2 threaten the main scheme. Rhino tries to attack, fail. Thomas Edison attack for 1. I get my 2 encounter cards. Actually, sorry, the 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is gonna go on his suit, actually. Now that I see it here. Still gonna be stunned though. Which means my 2 encounter cards. Which the first one's gonna be Harvest. So I have 2, so he heals 2 right now. Thanks to Harvest, because I exhaust each persona and heal 1 damage from each. And then discard an upgrade of support control. Nakia, sadly, which means it is our turn. Which means what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Throwaway into the fray. And that one to use big hands. No, wait. Sorry, and you'll pay for that instead of using the suit. To play big hands, to deal 4 damage to an enemy, which will kill Thomas Edison. Then I'm gonna exhaust that, pay these 2 to use drop kick. So I deal 1 damage there, removes his suit, which means 3 goes through. And I get to stun him again. And I get to draw a card, which is not gonna help that much. Red Dagger. Actually, I can use a big gun to deal 2 more. Could have done that last time as well, which meant even 2 more, but I didn't. Which means I can ready everything. Draw up to 3, 4, 5, 6. I should have used myself exhaust to remove 2 threat from the main scheme. Which now means it is the villain phase. And 2 threat in the main scheme. He doesn't attack me. I only get 2 encounter cards. Which I realize now I should have checked if any of them are. If I have advance 2 here. Advance 1. Oh. So there's a high chance that we lose here because I screwed up the counting. Oh well. We'll see what happens. The villain schemes, and he's gonna scheme for 1, 2 only, which means we don't die. We're just very, very close to, because we go up to 6. And then, of course, that one happens there. And this shuffles immediately. That was not even close. Is that one there. And then the last one we get is Harvest, which is 1 this time. So he heals 1, which means it's back to ours. Gonna pay for that, and Angela. Play Sneak By on Crime Pace. I'm gonna exhaust Miss Marvel to get it back into my hand. Use Plan of Attack and just use Plan of Attack and exhaust the Biokinetic Polymer suit to do another Sneak By that I use for Shrink, which means that's 5. I'm gonna remove 5 from there. Then I can remove Red Dagger to do Blade, and that's all I'm gonna do. Ready, everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which gives me a 3rd encounter card this turn. I really, really like Symbiote suits, and there's definitely some characters it's gonna be even better at. But I feel like I don't do enough with this specific deck to use it. Throg, Clobber, Energy, Plan of Attack, Hall Heroes, and Genius. Which means it's a villain phase. This one goes up by 2. Sorry. Which means that Rhino's gonna attack me. I'm gonna throw Blade in front of it. 3, 4, 5. Blade is dead. I get my 2 encounter cards, or 2 of them at least. Which means this one was first, which is an armored suit for him. This one's next. Edison Giant Robot, of course it is. And last but not least, Sinister Onslaught. Each cranimal enemy in play attacks you, which means Rhino's gonna attack me. I have no wiggle rooms. I can defend for 2, which means he deals 1 damage to me, but if he pulls a +3, which he doesn't, he deals 3 damage to me. Whew. And that means it's our turn. I'm gonna use Genius to play Throg, which means he's telling himself to be tough. I could pay 2 first before I did that, sorry, to play Clawbird to get it back to deal 3 damage to Rhino, which would just go on his suit anyway. Which means I could use the last 2 here to play Clawbird to deal 3 more on his suit and deal 1 damage through. Then I can flip back to Alter Ego mode, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my ability to discard cards until I get big hands, which I'm going to use under Bruno. And then we're going to ready everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I think we've lost... Yeah, I'm stupid. I couldn't flip back there. Which means that one is there. It was going to be a different hand, but I don't think it's going to do any difference because we didn't pull any of that anyway. Which means it's the villain phase. I'm throwing... I can't even do anything. I'm throwing Throg under Rhino. Tough. Edison Giant Robot. I'm gonna block 2 by using that. Actually, I could do stuff. Also, it would have been 5. I draw my 2 encounter cards. Sorry, I did everything there very, very fast. Rhino attacks you. Perfect. I can't do anything, which means that's death. Well, thank you all for a very fun stream. I really like the symbiote suit. I don't know if Miss Marvel is the one to do it in. I think it's someone who even basic attacks even more and that kind of stuff. And some upcoming cards in the set with Ironheart is really going to help it. But I just want to thank you all for joining the stream, or if you watch it afterhand. Next Wednesday, let me just check. Next Wednesday, yeah, it's the 4th. So I'm not going to stream then, because that's the premiere for the Doctor Strange movie here in Sweden. So I'm going to watch it. But I'm probably going to stream the what is it called? I'm probably going to stream the Tuesday instead. And then probably do a Doctor Strange multiverse theme episode. So I'll see you then. Until then, have a great week, and I wish you all the best. Bye!